Let's do this again. One idea dramatically changed my life. It can improve your relationships, your job, and your self-image. First, a story. I have ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. A lot of you watching probably have ADHD or suspect you have ADHD. You guys know what ADHD is. You know what the downsides of it are. For me, when people take ADHD really, really seriously, I think it indicates a problem with our attitude about how to orient ourselves in our lives overall. And that's what I'm talking about. I had this problem. I was orienting myself in a way that was really, really serving me poorly. What I would do is I would set up all of this scaffolding based on books that I would read. Like, this guy over here had to-do lists. This chick over here, she would just lock herself in a room with whatever work she needed for 2 hours at a time and either get it done or not. None of that stuff was working for me. It's all discipline oriented and it's very coercive. You're tricking yourself into doing these behavior patterns. How do we deal with this? Well, that's where personality psychology comes in. This is what really helped me. Personality psychology is an attempt to take the attributes of behavior that people express and organize them into something that you can then compare people against. And there are 5 categories called traits: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Openness is your likelihood to want to do new things. Conscientiousness is basically your discipline, order, and organization, your sense of duty. Extroversion is how likely you are to want to go to a party, make friends. Agreeableness is how supportive you are of those friends, how likely you are to go along with their ideas, how you lift them up, that kind of thing, how much trust you have. And neuroticism, everybody's favorite. Neuroticism is your propensity towards anxiety and depression. Your lack of resilience comes from neuroticism. This is the soup that makes us, identity. And it's really important. This is useful for orienting your little sock puppet that you occupy, your personality, your sense of self in relation to other people and society. And here's how to use it. These 5 domains, these 5 traits, you can measure them. The assessments that measure them are really, really good. They're both valid in that they measure what they say they're measuring, and they're reliable in that when you take them multiple times, people's results are roughly conserved. The good news is, like, when you take these assessments, you're actually penetrating some part of yourself that's hard to see. That's why we need the assessment. Otherwise, we just know about this ourselves. It's bad because they're not as flexible as we want them to be. Our behavior is flexible, but this personality thing, like, let's say, it changes on the order of months. Behavior, you can change in an instant. You can start changing your behavior now. How does behavior and personality interconnect to make your relationships better and your career better and your sense of self better? What I used to do, as I mentioned, was try to build this scaffolding with discipline. I would build a gym habit by trying harder, or I would try to stick to a diet by just doing it. Just do it is pretty good advice from Nike, but for people like me, who are moderate to low in conscientiousness, so I only have so much discipline to spend in a day, and I'm easily distracted, just do it might turn into just do whatever I feel like in the moment. Here's what I learned. I, like many people we've worked with, I was operating from my weaknesses. In fact, most of my energy was compensating for something that I'm bad at. Instead of doing what I'm good at, I was wasting time. You've got a mountain in front of you, you gotta either go over it, through it, or around it. There's other ways around the mountain. And this is how you can find out your way around the mountain. I was taking the hardest path over the mountain. Each of us needs to take our own path to get past the mountain. Here's how to take your own path. Figure out what your superpowers are. Figure out what helps other people. What do other people like? What are other people willing to pay for? Operate, at least for a while, out of those superpowers. And don't even worry about the weaknesses for a little bit. Let them be there. And the more that you operate out of the superpowers, you're gonna notice a pattern. You're gonna notice that compensating for the weaknesses becomes easier because you have more resources. When you understand your superpowers, operate from your superpowers. My example is I'm high in openness and extroversion, and I'm moderate in neuroticism. I'm low in agreeableness, and I'm moderate to low in conscientiousness. Rather than focusing on discipline as the tool for execution, I think about how would someone who's really creative and friendly, who wants to work with people, get through this task in the most fun, optimal way. And I reorganize my life around my personality. The same can be true for you. Maybe you're through the roof on conscientiousness and low in extroversion. The idea of speaking in front of a crowd is kill me. Well, if that's you, well then focus on the discipline and build checklists, focus on order, and don't just try to be more outgoing. Trying to do things out of our weaknesses because we want to catch up to everybody else is actually a waste of time as a strategy. Doing things from our strengths and just crushing it, taking that as our unfair advantage, allows us to eventually overcome our weaknesses faster and more efficiently anyways. So it's just a better way to be. What you can do, if you want to learn about your personality, go take Myers-Briggs or Enneagram or whatever. I recommend ours. It's in the description. It's a really well-designed assessment. It'll tell you point blank your superpowers, your vulnerabilities, your resource mode, your energy mode. Use that information to design a day that allows you to operate from your strengths, or even design a moment that allows you to operate from your strengths. Obviously, like and subscribe because the algorithm likes that. Hit the bell because, I don't know, do that too, and comment, all the things. Share this with any of your friends that you think would be interested in boosting their superpowers rather than just compensating for their weaknesses. I hope you like that. Good luck.